So I got a comment from one of you asking about what to do if you're stuck with one of these out-of-date trends that we talk about on this channel. There are so many different flooring types that people have in their homes right now that they think they hate, but they just don't know how to style around them. And I'm about to fix that. Welcome back to Built by Becker. And after working on over 500 projects over the last 15 years, I've walked into countless homes where homeowners apologize for their floors. And 9 times out of 10, the floors really aren't the problem. It's everything around them. Today, I'm showing you exactly how to make problematic flooring look intentional and modern without spending a fortune to replace it. We're covering terrazzo and more, like those orange oak floors from the 90s, gray wood floors that now feel dated, high gloss floors, busy pattern tile, and narrow plank wood. For each one, I'm giving you wall colors, furniture choices, and design tricks that actually work. And if you like that, hit the subscribe button, because we're gonna dive deep and we talk about all these types of things right here. Number 1, terrazzo floors. Now, this comment sparked this entire video. Elaine asked about terrazzo floors in her older home. She says, they're durable, but they make the space feel cold and uninviting, like concrete. She doesn't want to cover them, but she wants to know how she can make them look less institutional. Elaine, I love this question because you get it. Those terrazzo floors are going to outlast literally every other floor in your house. We're talking 50 to 75 years minimum, but durability doesn't mean much if your home feels like a hospital. The one thing with terrazzo is that it's marble, quartz, or glass chips. They're set into concrete or resin, ground smooth and polished. It was everywhere in the mid-century homes, 50s through the 70s, and it's incredibly durable. But that speckled hard surface reads cold, and it can be cold. Here's how you fix it without ripping it out. Solution number 1, warm wall colors. Your walls are doing half the work here. Paint them in warm neutrals, warm beige, soft taupes, or muted terracotta. Avoid the cool grays or stark whites. These will make the terrazzo feel even colder. Solution number 2, furniture and textiles. This is the best way to bring life into a space without changing the entire house. Start bringing in pieces that feel soft, earthy, and human. Wood furniture works wonders, like walnut, oak, or anything warm, because it instantly softens the coolness of the stone. Then let textiles do the rest. Think linen that moves with the light, a wool throw that feels cozy without trying too hard, or a couple velvet cushions in a warm tones like rust or caramel. And of course, adding some plants. Plants always bring life. Now, solution 3, add big grounding statement pieces. Sometimes terrazzo feels cold simply because there's nothing grounding the room. When everything is small, minimal, or floating, floor starts dominating the space. 1 or 2 larger, solid pieces, a substantial wooden sideboard, or a large planter, a big framed art piece, give the room sense of weight and warmth that counteracts the coolness of the terrazzo. You're basically telling the floor, you're not the main character, sit down. The key with terrazzo, don't fight it. Warm it up with everything around it. Number 2, orange oak. If you bought a house built in the 90s or early 2000s, chances are you have these golden orange oak floors. And I know, you probably hate them. Everyone does at first. But oak floors themselves, they're great. They're durable, they can be refinished multiple times, and they'll last 50 to 100 years. The problem isn't the wood, it's the shade of a pumpkin spice latte it's turned into over time. Most of these floors were coated with polyurethane that has yellow undertones, and as the years passed, they oxidized and went full Cheeto orange. Not ideal. You've got 3 options here. Refinish them, which is expensive and time consuming, replace them, which is even more expensive, or style around them. And honestly, option 3 is the one that saves your wallet, your sanity, and maybe even your love for these floors. So let's talk about how to do that. Solution number 1, back to wall colors. Your walls need to contrast the balance of the orange, not match it. Cool tones are your friend here. Think soft sage green, misty gray blue, or even a crisp white. Benjamin Moore's Breath of Fresh Air is a light blue gray that balances orange floors beautifully. Sherwin-Williams Naval, a deep blue, creates sophistication against the orange wood. You can also go with a very pale, cool tone cream, but avoid anything with an orange or yellow undertone. You will amplify the problem. Solution 2, furniture and textiles. Go light and cool. White painted furniture, light gray upholstery, or even glass and metal accent pieces. These cool materials offset the warmth of the floor. You could also add oversized neutral rugs like cream, light gray, soft blue gray. These break up the orange and give your eye somewhere else to land. Number 3, decor. You can always play with the color to balance things out. A few blue or green accents, maybe some throw pillows, even just a couple of plants. Immediately pull the eye away from all of the orange and make it feel intentional instead of dated. And don't underestimate what good curtains can do. Sheer linen in white or soft cream lets light filter in gently, and that natural light helps soften the orange tones in the floor so the whole space feels calmer and much more inviting. Now, solution 4, refinishing. If you do decide to refinish, you can tone down the orange significantly. Sand them back to raw wood, use a water-based polyurethane with no yellow tint, add gray tones to the stain to neutralize the orange, but that's a whole other project. For now, the right wall color and decor can make those orange floors work. Number 3, gray wood floors. The problem with gray floors is that they were part of the whole cool gray everything trend. Gray floors, gray walls, gray cabinets. They made the home feel sterile, lifeless. Now that we're moving towards warmer, more inviting spaces, those gray floors, they stick out. And if you have gray floors, here's how to make them work. Solution 1, warm everything else up. Since your floors lean cool, the rest of the room needs to bring warmth. Think about shifting your walls into warm neutrals. Those soft beiges, taupes, or cozy warm whites, shades like Sherwin-Williams Alabaster or Accessible Beige do a wonderful job of taking the chill out of a space. From there, let the warmth keep building. Wood furniture with natural grain walnut, anything that feels organic, instantly balances the coolness. Swap out brushed nickel for brass or gold accents, and suddenly the space feels warm, cohesive, and much more alive. Solution number 2, add neutral elements, plants, woven baskets, wood accents, leather. These natural materials bring life and warmth to a space that gray floors can make cold. Number 4, high gloss, shiny floors. Now, I've told you in other videos that high gloss floors aren't my first choice in new installations. They show every scratch, every smudge, every speck of dust. They're high maintenance and they can look dated. That ultra shiny looks and screams 2000s or institutional. But if you have high gloss floors, whether it's polished tile or ultra glossy hardwood, here's how to make them work. Solution number 1, use matte everywhere else. Your floors are shiny, so everything else needs to be matte or textured. Matte wall paint, textured fabrics, natural wood furniture with a satin finish. This contrast makes the high glossy floor feel less over the top. Solution number 2, use rugs. High gloss floors can make a space feel slippery and cold. Area rugs with texture, thick wool, natural, woven patterns, all add warmth and break up the shine. Plus, rugs hide some of the scratches and marks that high gloss floors love to show off. Solution number 3, consider a matte refinish. If your high gloss hardwood floors are driving you crazy, you can have them refinished with a matte or satin finish. It's not cheap, but it's cheaper than replacement, and it will make them look modern and less fussy. For tile, I'm sorry, but you're stuck with that and you can't change the finish. So focus on styling around them. Number 5, small pattern tile. You know those tiny hexagon tiles that used to be in every bathroom? Or those penny tiles your grandmother swore were timeless? They were cute for about 5 minutes. Then they became that one cousin at the family gathering who talks too much, busy, loud, and somehow always there. The real issue is the grout lines. There are approximately 7 million of them. Too much visual noise, too much maintenance, and too much builder-grade bathroom energy. But don't panic. If you got those tiles and you can't replace them, here's how you win. Solution number 1, simplify everything else. Your floor is busy, so nothing else can be. White or neutral walls, simple fixtures, minimal decor. Let the tile be the only pattern in the room. Solution 2, use large-scale elements like oversized mirrors, big art pieces, wide vanities. These large elements balance out the busyness of small tiles. Solution 3, style it as vintage charm. Go for it. Small pattern tile can be amazing, but only if you commit to the vibe instead of fighting it. Since you already have that vintage, slightly eclectic personality, lean in all the way. Bring in brass fixtures so the metal feels warm and classic instead of modern and cold. Pair it with lighting that has a bit of old world charm. Maybe a globe sconce, a ribbed glass shade, or something that feels like it could have lived in 1920s apartment. Number 6, narrow planked wood floors. Narrow planked wood floors, like 2 or 3 inch planks, used to be the standard. Now they make floors look busy and old-fashioned. Wide planks like 5 to 7 inches or more are the new look because they make spaces feel larger and cleaner. But if you have narrow floors, here's how to work with them. Solution number 1, keep your visual lines clean. Your floor has a lot of lines, so don't add more. Avoid busy rugs, busy wallpaper, or too many small furniture pieces. Keep everything streamlined. Solution 2. Use furniture to create visual space. When you bring in larger furniture, a big sectional or oversized coffee table, even a chunky sideboard, it visually calms everything down. Those bigger shapes break up all the tiny lines and give your eyes a place to rest. You know, sometimes it's cheaper and smarter to style around problematic floors than to replace them. A few $100 in paint, some new rugs, they can transform a space way better than you think. Now, if your floors are damaged beyond repair and you're doing a gut renovation anyways, sure, replace them. But if you're structurally sound and you don't like the look, try styling first. If you made it all the way here, I've got something special for you. On my website, you can download a completely free guide to keeping your home in impeccable shape. Because yes, you can style a space all you want, but trust me, no one wants to deal with unexpected repairs. This guide helps you keep everything in check. Grab it through the link in my description. Drop a comment and let me know, what problematic flooring are you dealing with? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one.